Previously on Off the Felt.
How did it feel seeing your fighter fight tonight?
It's like you're in the ring. I felt nervous watching him fight. He showed a lot of heart. I was really proud of him. I predict another boom in poker. Hopefully legislation will pass in California. A lot of money is going to come back into poker. I think things are going to change pretty quickly.
The best poker player in the world's got to be Phil Ivey.
Ivey's, he's a total fucking sicko.
He's the best player in the world as far as I'm concerned.
He's Phil fucking Ivey.
The player widely considered to be the greatest in the game, Phil Ivey.
When you were in Atlantic City and learning how to play and as a telemarketer, making money to go and play poker, turns out you're a good telemarketer too. But you go play poker and then you decided to go to LA and play in the Larry Flynt private game. And kind of went on a downward spiral to the point where you were talking to somebody on the phone and it was going to be your last time.
No, what had happened was I played the Larry Flynt game and I went broke. Not went broke, completely broke, but went down to where I had a $170,000 bankroll, lost $150,000 in Larry Flynt game. I saved $20,000 to play 8160. So I built it all the way back up to like $200,000. I think the first day I lost $50,000. And the second day I played, I was gonna go back down to $20,000 I had originally started with. And I said, if I lose this, I'm just gonna play 8160 until I build it back up again. And I end up getting all the way down to like $4,000 or $5,000 left in front of me, and I end up running it up from there. That was a big turning point for me because that ended up winning, I don't know, $150,000 or so that day, and then I won the next time, and I won the next time, and then I had a bankroll to play, and I really never looked back.
Let's go back to your start in poker. Your first World Series bracelet came in 2000. Was that your first World Series that you had ever attended?
That was the first year I ever played the World Series.
And you cashed 3 times, and you got heads up against Amarillo Slim. Did you know who Slim was at the time? Or?
Yeah, I knew they made a big deal of it. I remember the feeling, I remember his facial expressions, I remember the hands, I remember everything about it. It was pretty special to be able to play him heads up.
When you first started playing the big cash games, there was widely publicized Andy Beal versus a corporation of professional players like yourself.
It started with Andy Beal around 2000. I just strolled into the Bellagio and they were playing 1 in 2000 with a stranger I didn't know. He asked somebody, do they play higher? We couldn't afford to play higher. So we decided, well, how about this, Andy? We'll just pull our money together. You play with one person and you guys play heads up.
The guy's a very tough player, to be honest with you. He's very aggressive, knew when to bet, knew when to check, knew when to bluff. A very aggressive player, tough to beat in limit hold'em.
And I think we lost the very first time to him.
And I heard the players were actually down.
Yeah, the players were actually down going into that session. I'm not sure the exact number they were down, but it was a significant amount.
Then I think he came back and we did freeze-outs where one of us would put up $1 million, he'd put up $1 million, we'd play till the money was gone.
He wanted to play for the challenge of it. And hats off to him.
It was kind of nerve-wracking at first because the limits were so high. But after 5 or 10 minutes, you get kind of used to it, and it's just like a poker game.
I was playing every day. I played a lot of limit hold'em in my life up to that point. I ran really good.
And I carried one rack of $100,000 chips. I mean, that's $10 million in one hand. I mean, it's pretty cool.
If I didn't beat him, the poker world would have been in big trouble.
If you think it's tough to try to keep up with Phil Ivey on the felt, try tracking him down off the felt.
Jonathan, I'll be interviewing you later.
You're doing an interview later?
That's all kinds of surprises.
God, does it ever end?
You spend 3 or 4 hours waiting. You're ready to go. You're waiting. And then you're like, shit, I don't think this shoot's gonna happen. I mean, there was a couple moments where we were like, we might be rescheduling. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's go time.
The rumors about Phil Ivey's elusiveness are very true, and we've had to find out the hard way.
So we're sitting here in Phil Ivey's motor coach, hanging out, getting ready to do an exclusive interview.
I mean, the whole crew is here, set up, fully ready to go, and Ivey says no.
Phil does not do interviews. It is very hard to get Phil to get on camera.
When's the last time you remember doing a sit-down video interview?
At my house with you.
It's fucking golf and crap.
It's like a real gambler.
A little bit.
That's the last one I remember.
It's rumored that, you like to play high-stakes craps and high-stakes baccarat. Do you get more of a rush playing baccarat, craps, poker? Which one's or is it all the same?
Poker's different from baccarat craps. I have to do a lot more thinking in poker. I don't really feel a rush when I play poker. I'm so much living in my head, so much thinking about the opponents that I don't really have time to feel that way. But when you're playing craps, you're in the middle of a big roll, it's exciting. You're like, man, you just don't want to roll it in. There's a rush, there's a feeling that you get.
What's the longest roll you've ever had?
30 minutes. But you got to remember, I play at tables by myself.
Right.
That's way different from a big table with 12 people. That's probably like an equivalent to like maybe an hour roll or something.
In terms of the stakes that you play when you play games like craps or baccarat, I'm going to read you a quote in Cigar Aficionado a couple years ago. I don't think the dollar level is recreational, and I think this is part and parcel with the Phil Ivey gambling enterprise. This is him going to work. Is there any truth in that you're a big gambler?
I don't like to use the word gambling with poker because poker is not gambling. But like any other games, I don't gamble big for my reputation. I gamble big because that's what my bankroll allows me to do. You know, again, I like to have some sort of advantage when I play. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. So.
Yeah, that almighty amazing, highly contagious, kamikaze sound splash like a shot from a gauge until your body sound class. Hit of the class, magna cum laude beats, bring the beat, stop me, flagrant, foul, rowdy,